Emma, before we judge this year's budget, I think many people first need to understand one basic thing. What exactly is a budget?
You're right, Alex. A budget is a yearly financial plan prepared by the government. It explains how much money the government will earn and how it plans to spend that money.
So it's like a household budget but on a national level.
Exactly. Just like families plan expenses for rent, food, education, and savings, the government plans spending on healthcare, education, defense, infrastructure, and welfare.
And every year, people, especially the middle class, have expectations from it.
Yes, because the budget directly affects taxes, prices, savings, and daily life.
Emma, now comes the big question everyone is asking. Did this year's budget really do something meaningful for the middle class?
That's the most important question, Alex. The middle class is the backbone of the economy. They pay regular taxes, manage household expenses, and try to save for the future. In this budget, the government has given some relief, especially in income tax and savings-related areas. On the surface, it looks like the middle class has been considered.
But many people still seem unhappy.
Yes, because expectations were very high. While there is some tax relief, it is limited. At the same time, daily expenses like food, rent, education, healthcare, and fuel continue to rise. So for many families, the benefit from the budget feels small compared to their real-life expenses.
So can we say the budget helps, but not enough?
Exactly. The budget does support the middle class in parts, but it does not fully solve their financial pressure. That's why the debate continues, whether this budget is truly for the middle class or just mentions them,
Do you feel this year's budget truly supports the middle class?
or do you think it only gives limited relief? Yes or no?
Emma, what does middle class mean here?
Middle class refers to people who earn a stable income, pay taxes regularly, manage household expenses, and have limited savings.
Emma used the idiom on the surface.
It means something looks good at first, but the deeper reality may be different. Example, on the surface, the budget looks supportive, but many problems remain.
Emma, after understanding the budget basics, the next big issue people talk about is inflation. Even if the budget gives some relief, inflation can cancel everything. So how does inflation affect the middle class?
That's a very real concern, Alex. Inflation means the continuous rise in prices of everyday goods and services. For the middle class, inflation directly hits daily life: groceries, vegetables, milk, school fees, rent, electricity bills, medical costs, and transport.
Many people say inflation numbers are under control, but life still feels expensive.
Exactly. Official data may show moderate inflation, but middle-class families feel pressure because essential expenses rise faster than income. For example, even a small increase in fuel prices affects transport, food delivery, and overall market prices. School and college fees increase almost every year, and healthcare costs rise much faster than salaries.
So even if the budget gives tax relief, inflation eats it up.
Yes, that's the core problem. This budget did not strongly address price control or cost of living relief. As a result, the middle class may save a little in tax, but they spend much more on daily needs.
Which means real relief still feels missing.
Correct. Until inflation is controlled at the ground level, the middle class will continue to feel financial stress.
Do you think inflation affects your life more than income tax?
Yes or no?
Emma, what does inflation mean here?
Inflation means a general increase in prices, which reduces the value of money over time.
Emma used the idiom eats it up.
It means something slowly destroys or reduces the benefit of something else. Example: rising prices eat up the small tax relief given in the budget.
Emma, after inflation, another major concern for the middle class is education and healthcare. These two expenses decide the future and security of any family.
Absolutely, Alex. For the middle class, education and healthcare are not optional expenses. They are necessities. Parents spend a large part of their income on school fees, tuition, coaching classes, and higher education. Every year, these costs increase, but salaries do not rise at the same speed.
So, what does this budget say about education?
The budget talks about improving education infrastructure and digital learning. That sounds positive, but the real issue is affordability. Private schools and colleges are still expensive, and many middle-class families depend on them because government options are limited.
And what about healthcare?
Healthcare is an even bigger worry. Medical emergencies can wipe out years of savings. Although the budget mentions healthcare development, middle-class families still struggle with high hospital bills, costly medicines, and limited insurance coverage.
So the support exists, but the pressure remains.
Exactly. The budget shows intent, but it does not fully reduce the financial burden of education and healthcare for the middle class.
Do education and healthcare expenses worry you the most as a middle-class family?
Yes or no?
Emma, what does affordability mean here?
Affordability means being able to pay for something without financial stress.
Emma used the idiom wipe out.
It means to completely remove or destroy something. Example: a medical emergency can wipe out years of savings.
Emma, after education and healthcare, the next biggest concern for the middle class is jobs. Without stable jobs, no budget can really help.
You're absolutely right, Alex. Employment is the foundation of middle-class life. Most middle-class families depend on fixed salaries or small businesses. When jobs are unstable or wages do not increase, financial pressure automatically increases.
So what does this budget say about employment?
The budget talks about job creation through infrastructure projects, startups, and skill development programs. On paper, this sounds promising. However, the challenge is implementation. Many jobs created are temporary or contract-based, which does not give long-term security to the middle class.
And what about salary growth?
That's another issue. Even when people are employed, salary increments are often lower than inflation. So the middle class works harder but feels financially stuck.
So can we say the budget focuses more on future jobs than current relief?
Exactly. The budget gives hope, but middle class families need immediate, stable employment opportunities, not just long-term promises.
Do you feel job security is a bigger problem than taxes today?
Yes or no?
Emma, what does job security mean here?
Job security means having confidence that your job will continue without sudden loss of income.
Emma used the idiom on paper.
It means something looks good in plans or documents, but may not work well in real life. Example: job creation looks good on paper, but real opportunities are limited.
Emma, we've talked about taxes, inflation, education, jobs, but now let's ask the main question straight. Does this year's budget actually help the middle class or not?
That's the question everyone wants a clear answer to, Alex. The short answer is yes, the budget helps the middle class in certain ways, but not enough to solve all their problems.
Can you explain that a bit more?
Of course, this year's budget includes some benefits that can help the middle class. For example, minor tax relief with revised slabs can leave slightly more money in people's hands. There are some incentives for savings, small business support, and promises for job creation.
That sounds good. So what's the problem?
The problem is that these benefits are not big enough compared to the real-life expenses of middle-class families. Daily costs like food, fuel, education, healthcare, and rent are still high. Also, many of the good things in the budget are only promises, meaning they may take time to happen, and middle-class families need relief now, not after many months or years.
So does the budget help at all?
Yes, it helps somewhat. But for many middle-class families, the relief feels limited because the rising cost of living and slow income growth reduce the actual benefit.
So the final conclusion is,
The budget provides some support, but it doesn't fully solve the financial stress faced by the middle class.
do you think this budget did enough for the middle class?
Yes or no?
Emma, what does limited relief mean here?
Limited relief means some help, but not enough to change things completely.
Emma used the idiom short answer.
It means a quick, simple response to a big question. Example: the short answer is, the budget helps, but not enough.
Emma, after daily expenses and jobs, the next concern for the middle class is savings and investments. People want to know whether this budget helps them secure their future.
That's a very important point, Alex. The middle class does not earn huge profits or inherit wealth. Their future depends on savings, fixed deposits, insurance, pension schemes, and small investments. So any budget that supports savings directly affects middle-class confidence.
So what does this year's budget offer?
This budget continues existing saving schemes and gives some encouragement towards long-term investments. There are options for retirement planning and small investors, which is a positive sign. However, the returns on many safe savings options are still low.
So people save money, but it doesn't grow much.
Exactly. After adjusting for inflation, many middle-class families feel their savings are not increasing in real value. Also, because of high daily expenses, people are forced to dip into their savings more often.
So does the budget make saving easier?
Not significantly. The budget does not introduce strong new incentives that motivate the middle class to save more. As a result, long-term financial security still feels uncertain.
Do you feel confident about your savings and future after this budget?
Yes or no?
Emma, what does long-term financial security mean here?
It means having enough savings and income to live comfortably in the future, especially after retirement.
Emma used the idiom dip into.
It means to use saved money for current expenses. Example: many families dip into their savings to manage rising costs.
Emma, owning a house is one of the biggest dreams for middle-class families. So the big question is, does this year's budget make housing easier or harder?
You're right, Alex. For the middle class, buying a home is not a luxury. It's a lifetime goal. Most families depend on home loans to fulfill this dream, which means interest rates and housing policies matter a lot.
So what does this budget say about housing?
The budget talks about affordable housing and support for housing projects. This sounds encouraging. However, when we look at reality, property prices in cities remain very high. At the same time, home loan interest rates are still a major burden for middle-class buyers.
So monthly EMIs are still stressful?
Exactly. Even a small increase in interest rates can disturb a middle-class family's monthly budget. The budget does not offer strong relief on home loan interest or direct benefits for first-time middle-class buyers.
So the dream of owning a home still feels distant?
For many families, yes. While the intention is there, the budget does not significantly reduce the financial pressure of housing.
Do you feel buying a house has become more difficult in recent years?
Yes or no?
Emma, what does EMI mean here?
EMI stands for Equated Monthly Installment, the fixed amount paid every month to repay a loan.
Emma used the idiom distant dream.
It means a goal that feels hard to achieve at the moment. Example: for many middle-class families, owning a house feels like a distant dream.
Emma, fuel prices may look like a small issue, but they affect almost everything in daily life. So, how important is this point for the middle class?
Very important, Alex. Fuel prices directly impact the middle class more than people realize. When petrol and diesel prices increase, the cost of transport goes up. This affects office travel, school buses, delivery charges, and even food prices.
So, even people who don't own vehicles are affected?
Exactly. Public transport fares increase, and the cost of goods transported from one place to another rises. The middle class ends up paying more for groceries, vegetables, and essential items.
Did this year's budget offer any relief on fuel prices?
No major relief was announced. There was no significant reduction in fuel taxes. As a result, fuel continues to remain a silent pressure on middle-class budgets.
So, this becomes a hidden burden.
Yes, people don't notice it immediately, but over time, fuel costs slowly increase overall household expenses. This is why many middle-class families feel stretched, even without big lifestyle changes.
Do fuel prices affect your monthly budget more than you expect?
Yes or no?
Emma, what does hidden burden mean here?
Hidden burden means a problem that is not obvious at first, but creates stress over time.
Emma used the idiom adds up.
It means small costs combine to become a big expense. Example: daily fuel expenses slowly add up and increase monthly spending.
Emma, not all middle-class people are salaried employees. Many run small shops, businesses, or work as self-employed professionals. So how does this budget affect them?
That's an important point, Alex. Small business owners and self-employed people form a large part of the middle class. Their income is uncertain, and they do not get fixed monthly salaries. They depend heavily on government policies, loans, and market stability.
So what does this year's budget offer them?
The budget talks about supporting small businesses through easier loans, digital systems, and startup initiatives. On paper, this sounds positive. However, many small business owners still struggle with rising costs, low demand, and complicated compliance rules.
So access to benefits is still difficult.
Yes, many schemes exist, but awareness and easy access remain big challenges. Also, higher fuel prices and inflation increase operating costs, which reduces profits.
So are small businesses feeling relieved?
Not fully. While the intention is good, real-world impact for small businesses and the self-employed remains limited.
Do you think small businesses received enough support in this budget?
Yes,
Emma, what does self-employed mean here?
self-employed means earning income by running your own business or working independently, not for a company.
Emma used the idiom on paper.
It means something looks good in theory but may not work well in real life. Example, support for small businesses looks good on paper, but results are slow.
Emma, we've discussed everything. Taxes, inflation, education, jobs, housing, savings, fuel, and small businesses. Now it's time for the final answer. Is this budget really for the middle class?
Alex, the honest answer is balanced, not extreme. This budget does acknowledge the middle class. There are small tax benefits, continued saving schemes, and promises of growth and jobs. So yes, the middle class is not ignored.
But people are still not fully satisfied.
That's because the middle class faces real everyday pressure. Rising prices, expensive education and healthcare, job insecurity, High EMIs and low savings growth reduce the impact of budget benefits. Most relief measures are either limited or long-term, while middle-class families need immediate support.
So, how should we sum it up?
This budget helps the middle class partially. It gives hope but not strong relief. For many families, it feels like survival has become easier, but progress still feels slow.
So, the debate continues.
Yes, whether this budget is truly for the middle class will only be clear when real changes are seen on the ground.
After understanding all points, what do you think?
Is this budget really for the middle class? Yes or no?
Emma, what does final verdict mean here?
Final verdict means the overall conclusion after looking at all facts and points.
Emma used the idiom, the bigger picture.
It means understanding the complete situation, not just one part. Example, to judge the budget fairly, we must look at the bigger picture.
So, friends, that was our complete discussion on the question everyone is asking. Is this budget really for the middle class?
We tried to break it down honestly, point by point, without confusion.
Because budgets affect our daily life, not just headlines.
And understanding them helps us make better financial decisions.
If you found this discussion useful, don't keep it to yourself.
Share it with friends, family, and anyone who belongs to the middle class.
Your opinion matters.
So tell us in the comments, do you feel supported by this budget or not?
Until next time, stay informed.
And remember, asking questions is the first step to clarity.
See you soon.
Take care.